To what do you owe your success?
I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele.
It must be really boring.
So they're thinking about bringing back 50 Shades, but here's the twist. Jamie Dornan might not be in it this time around. Instead, they're talking about bringing in Ian Somerhalder. You know, the dude who played everyone's favorite vampire? Yeah, the same guy who later became a vampire hunter in another show. Cool, right? The reason why Jamie Dornan won't sign up for another 50 Shades film is pretty straightforward. He and Dakota Johnson became big names thanks to their roles in the steamy romantic trilogy. While there were talks about a fourth movie in the past, Dornan made it clear that he's done with that kind of film for good. The 50 Shades movies are adapted from E.L. James's best-selling novels, including a fourth installment where she tells the story from a different angle. Dornan, who played the lead in the original trilogy, opened up about his career choices, expressing a desire to explore different types of roles. In an interview with Variety, Jamie Dornan was asked if he felt typecast after portraying Christian Grey in the 50 Shades trilogy. Dornan emphasized the uniqueness of 50 Shades, noting that there aren't many scripts out there featuring a millionaire engaged in BDSM. He went on to explain that he hasn't taken on anything similar since, and likely won't in the future, because 50 Shades was in a league of its own. Dornan described it as a separate entity, acknowledging its significant impact and widespread interest, but also suggesting that it's a chapter of his career that has concluded. The 50 Shades movie trilogy delves into the story of Christian Grey, a wealthy man who enjoys engaging in BDSM with his partner. His life takes a turn when he meets Anastasia Steele, a young woman, and they fall in love. The films include nudity as they portray various BDSM activities between Steele and Grey. The fourth installment in the 50 Shades Saga, the first movie in the saga, titled 50 Shades of Grey, was directed by Sam Taylor Johnson and written by Kelly Marcel. Despite facing mixed reviews from critics, the erotic romantic drama was a huge hit at the box office. Made with a budget of $40 million, the first installment grossed an impressive $571 million worldwide. The total production budget for all three movies in the trilogy amounted to $150 million. The series as a whole has earned over $1.320 billion, ranking it as the seventh highest-grossing R-rated franchise of all time. After the success of all the three books and the subsequent movies, there were speculations that we might get to see another movie featuring Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele. E.L. James went on to write and publish Grey, 50 Shades of Grey as told by Christian, and Darker, 50 Shades Darker as told by Christian. However, as of now, there is no confirmed news about the possible fourth 50 Shades movie. On the flip side, Jamie Dornan has opened up about his reaction to the reviews of the 50 Shades films. Despite not regretting his involvement in the movies, he admitted to retreating to the countryside after the reviews for the first 50 Shades of Grey film were released. Dornan shared on Radio 4's Desert Island Discs that he and his wife chose to disconnect from the outside world for a while upon seeing the reviews. He explained to presenter Lauren Laverne that while he had received significant award nominations for his role in the BBC drama The Fall, the reception to 50 Shades of Grey was a stark contrast, almost bordering on ridicule. Fortunately, the film's director, Sam Taylor Johnson, extended her hospitality to Dornan and his family, allowing them to stay at her countryside home during this period. Dornan described it as a time of retreat before emerging from the experience with a renewed perspective. Jamie Dornan, age 41, reflected on his experience with the 50 Shades film trilogy, acknowledging that despite the immense financial success of the first film, subsequent sequels were greenlit swiftly. Dornan also shared insights into his acting journey, revealing that his first acting gig was a minor role audition in The Fall before ultimately landing the lead as serial killer Paul Spector. He starred alongside Gillian Anderson, who played the police detective pursuing his character in the series. Dornan reflected on the pivotal moment before auditioning for The Fall, recognizing the potential it had to alter the trajectory of his career. As it turned out, His intuition was spot on. The role indeed transformed his professional life virtually overnight. The success of The Fall was significant, earning Dornan critical acclaim and a BAFTA nomination for Best Actor. This support, he noted, helped him understand that life could still be fulfilling and joyful despite hardships. All right, we've covered Jamie Dornan's side of things. But here's the real head-scratcher. Could Ian Somerhalder step into Jamie's shoes for a fourth 50 Shades of Grey flick? With Jamie out of the picture and talk of another movie swirling around, it's got folks wondering if Ian could be the new leading man. The 50 Shades of Grey movie has stirred up a lot of debate among audiences, whether it's about the casting choices, the storyline itself, or how the BDSM community is portrayed. Even though the sequels, 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed, have already hit the screens, there's this lingering notion of a fourth installment. Author E.L. James dropped a novel called Grey, which retells the first book from Christian Grey's perspective. While Jamie Dornan fulfilled his contract and starred in the original trilogy, he's made it clear that he's ready to move on now that filming is done. But if the series were to push forward into the fourth novel, who could fill Jamie Dornan's shoes? Before the official casting announcements, fans had their eyes set on Ian Somerhalder from The Vampire Diaries to take on the role. There were even whispers about him potentially snagging the part of Jack Hyde in 50 Shades Darker, although that role ended up going to Eric Johnson. Now, with Jamie Dornan possibly stepping aside, it seems fans are rallying once again for Somerhalder to step into the spotlight as Christian Grey. With The Vampire Diaries already wrapped up its final season, he might just have the perfect opportunity to dive into a new role. Late-night TV host Jimmy Kimmel decided to address the swirling rumors and brought it up with Dornan himself. Dornan promptly debunked any talk of recasting for the trilogy, pointing out the logistical challenge given that both movies had already been shot. He hinted at the possibility of a fourth film, expressing his support for Somerhalder if he were to step into the role. "Good luck to him, he'll be great," Dornan remarked, which Kimmel humorously interpreted as a confirmation. Whether or not Ian eventually joins the franchise, it's evident that it's thriving on its own. The trailer for the 50 Shades Darker sequel smashed records, becoming the most watched trailer in its first 24 hours of release in movie history at the time. Clearly, audiences are eager to see Mr. Grey, regardless of who's portraying him. Well, that's it for today. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views in the comment section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video. See you at the next one.